I mean, any time that sporting events like that kind of come up, like the first day of March Madness, obviously there's more games to that, but the first day of March Madness is all time. Just don't get anything done.
Nothing's happening
at work. Same with the second day. The entire weekend, like you're not doing anything. Any significant others that want like anything that happens, like sorry, like this is a park my ass on the couch kind of day. I am not going to be productive whatsoever. I'm not going to provide anything to society. I'm just going to rot my brain and watch the sports ball, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think the sadness of the Red Sox is past, and we are on to the wild card series.
That last part, completely disagree with you there. I am like, it is just setting in now.
I think I think it's gonna. Being there yesterday, it was like, all right, like I sat in it, went home. Was sad.
Props to you for sitting in it, sitting in it. Grammar is fun, but props to you for braving the elements through that, because that just looked like a dog shit day.
Yeah, the weather was terrible. I should have brought gloves. But honestly, like when it wasn't raining, it was fine. But like the mist was on and off. I was sad this morning, sure. I think as the day's gone on, I'm just kind of like, is it Friday already? Like Friday at noon? Because I'm excited, still baseball to be played.
Exactly.
Still baseball to be had.
And you know what? Once like good games start popping off, it is kind of fun. There is something to be said about how fun it is when you're just being a neutral spectator. Obviously, it doesn't beat having a horse in the race at all. Having some stake in the matter. There's nothing quite like that. But it is fun. Just to be a neutral spectator and watch some good games and then watch the Yankees inevitably lose. That's a blast.
That's the hope.
Yeah. I'm knocking on wood if you can hear that. For those of you who somehow don't know what program this is the Boston Red Sox-based podcast, Pod on Lansdowne. I am the first overall pick in the 2023 draft, a.k.a. Fitz. I'm joined by Adrian Beltre, Mariners legend Adrian Beltre, based on the hat, a.k.a. Liam.
That's right.
Jake should be coming soon.
He had a prior engagement.
Yeah, he's education or something to that effect.
Something useless, like a graduate degree.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Right? We're us just simple undergrads. We actually take pride in this work, Liam. Whether you're a blue hen or a mint man, whatever it might be.
I mean, shockingly, I will have my graduate degree by Christmas. So that's.
Oh, you're bailing on me now.
I'm with Jake. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. God, you think you know a guy?
But at least I'm here on time. So.
Freaking nerds. Yeah. You know what? We have deadlines and commitments that we got to keep.
That's right. I have my priorities in order.
All right.
Apparently, does not.
The show that is notably advertising itself as releasing on Tuesday, we're trying to release on a Friday this week. So, we get to the mic here and we take care of what needs to be taken care of in a timely manner, clearly.
There's a lot to cover. There really is.
There really is. It's the end of the 2022 season for the Red Sox. I mean, we knew this was coming for what, like 2.5 months.
Second half of the season sucked. It really did.
When
the trade deadline was fun for a hot minute, but then it was just
that was just madness. That was just
and then it was just like the same old, win a couple games, lose a few in a row. Somebody gets hurt, somebody else gets hurt. Somebody comes back. Like they were never a full team. A third
person gets hurt. A fourth person gets hurt.
They were never a full team the entire year. And
I think that's a good way to put it.
Put a stake in them,
if we're gonna eulogize the team, go and we'll get to that.
I will say the sun is out today, so maybe that's a good sign.
It's a new day in Boston.
That's right.
It's a new day. I'm Ronald Reagan. No, I got to work on my Ronnie. Maybe I'll go down to hell and ask him how to work on his voice. I guess hindsight's 2020, but I think I've said this before. You've said this before. Jake said this before. Hindsight's 2020, but really this season ended.
Hindsight or hindsight?
Ha 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 ha. There you go. Right. I was trying to think of like how to get like a Heim ha ha like kind of bit in there. I
That
bailed
was
on that
terrible.
one. I bailed on that one pretty quickly. I'm self aware enough to know that wasn't going to work. But with the benefit of hindsight, I really do think I would like to go back to the episode recorded after this series, but I think that the season ended in Tampa in July. That first series that Sale was back, as opposed to the second series where Sale was back, because there were only two series where he was
where
fucking
he
back.
was
Right?
in uniform on the field.
Yeah, the one where he pitched well, not the one where his hand went kablooey.
See, I think if you want to look
I
back,
think it ended there.
For me, it's the finger. Looking back on it.
Which was soon after.
It was only like 5 days later, but yeah, that whole week is really where, I think whether we knew it then or not, like
maybe we were taking a little bit of copium after the Rays debacle, like the whole fucking Franchi Cordero, Matt Strom play, like that was. That was like in Call of Duty, like when you're hurt really bad, like the screen starts flashing red, like you need to get to cover. And then
your controller's vibrating.
Yeah, exactly. You hear the character like, yeah. We needed a stim there, and we didn't get the stim. Instead, we got a ball to Chris Sale's left hand. Yeah, I guess that entire time frame was when we should have known that it was time to pack it up, and that was before the trade deadline too, where we kind of bought but kind of also sold.
It was a weird deadline.
It was just weird by nature of how many trades were made, how many moves were made for a team that was going nowhere fast at the end of the day. It turned out. But for a season, and there have been seasons, Liam, where the Red Sox have limped to the finish line. You think of in recent years. 2019, just of how disappointing it was. 2020 was
a
awful.
Disaster.
14 and 15, the team kind of, just dragged to the finish line. I remember 2006 being a disappointment. I think the team had a winning record, but it was just getting towards the end. I think, was that the 5-game sweep against the Yankees? Yep. Mm-hmm. So, there have been... there have been different, ways of a season ending prior to the playoffs that we've gone through. This one, and we'll definitely get Jake's takes on all of this, rhyming accidentally, but by far the most emotional, and I don't even think this is recency bias, by far the most emotional season-ending game or day that didn't result in a playoff loss. Like you could say, Ortiz, that was an emotional goodbye in 2016, but that was, lost in the playoffs, high stakes. Last year losing in the ALCS, that's an emotional kind of a loss. 2008, same deal, but for a season where you ended with, 78 wins, obviously a huge disappointment, and it was a disappointment for months at this point, but to end like it did, and we'll get into the specifics, like, God, how freaking... It was an emotional gut punch after gut punch that we had yesterday. And I'm sure that was the same for you, being there at Fenway.
Yeah, no, the atmosphere was...
Right, Jake? Not to interrupt you, Liam, but right, Jake?
Jake's on to 2023.
What?
Just say right. Just
right,
say right.
Yeah, of course.
Anyways, like you were saying, Liam, when Jake decided to rudely interrupt, even though it was me who yelled, we're just talking about how fucking emotionally draining it was, Jake. But Liam, you were actually there.
Yeah, the atmosphere in the ballpark, I think the weather definitely affected it. Like, it wasn't as... I'm sure the broadcast was far more emotional than actually sitting there in the ballpark.
Oh, God, don't get me with the fucking X. Are you kidding me?
And whatnot. So, like, I'm happy I saw the montage and everything, and, he waved to the crowd and all that. So that was emotional. But
definitely cried there. 100%.
Yeah, in terms of like Xander tipping his cap and JD getting pinch hit for in the 8th, like, it was cool to see JD go out with 2 home runs. He's not coming back next year.
Very tough.
I feel like that's...
I was thinking during the game, not to interrupt Liam, I'm sorry, but just when you're on this point, it was absolutely brutal for JD to get his curtain call after Xander's. Like it was like he tips his cap. There's people crying in the stands. They're sobbing. And then you got JD, and he just kind of is like, "All right, I'll see you guys."
Still here.
I forget if I heard it on the Nesson broadcast or on EEI, because I kind of went back and forth. Like, obviously, I wanted to hear Eck's last game, and we'll get to Eck. But I also, I wanted to get my last taste of Castiglione. I know McDonald was on the broadcast. He's unhinged as is. So last game of the year in a year that's been, long gone, a sub 500 season. I wanted to hear some of that. So I forget who it was, but when JD hit that first home run, I think it was O'Brien on Nesson. He said, JD in his last game with the Red Sox, as if it was 150% signed, sealed, delivered, he's out of here. Which I was like, there's technically a chance he comes back. It's not going to happen, but just to hear, the team's official broadcasters say this guy's going to be hitting the road soon. It's going to be happy trails in a couple moments, but for now, vintage JD opposite field. Wow,
Get a job.
Go home, get a job.
It was funny. They also were saying JD towards the end of the game yesterday. I think his third at bat or his fourth or maybe he got pinch hit. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But after the 2 home runs, I think O'Brien said he's like JD Martinez, who's found his swing, on literally the last day of the year.
Just
in time.
Nick of time, right?
Yeah.
Not a moment too soon, JD. There you go.
We're making a push.
Better late than never, right? I texted that exact phrase to as a joke, I said better Nate than lever. But my friend was like, in this case, no, disagreed.
At least with
JD, he did go out sharing AL Player of the Week honors with Aaron Judge, which I find very funny.
It's a good bit.
We'll hold on to that for years on end.
To suck for 5 months and 3 weeks while the star player on your rival is breaking records and is on pace to probably win the MVP award on the week where he breaks, the big home run record, to go tit for tat with him and then share
steal his thunder.
Right? That's
extremely funny.
That's a big Chad. The Verge Aaron Judge versus the Chad JD Martinez. That's an all-time commitment to the bit.
I wanted to ask you guys.
Doesn't elaborate
I have
any
an Aaron
further.
Judge. I have an Aaron Judge. Not Aaron Judge to the Red Sox or anything.
I thought you said Aaron Judge question: is he the clean home run king?
No, this is its own thing. Do you guys think if Aaron Judge if he finished the year with 2 less home runs, do you think Ohtani would win MVP?
No, I still think it would be Judge.
No.
Okay. I still think it would be Judge, best player on the best team with the Yankees. The narrative would be too strong, I think.
Okay.
I go back and forth on.
I think if Ohtani was on a winning team, it's him in a landslide.
Even 500 or hovering around 500. What did the Angels finish?
They finished with 74 wins. The Cubs had more wins than. Yeah. No, they finished with 73. Cubs finished with 74.
I'd like to remark on the Red Sox win total for a moment when we get the chance. I was eyeballing it yesterday on the. Well, do you want to just? Can I get into it?
Yeah, jump right into it. Go for it.
We're riffing with 78 wins. That was the final tally on the year. 86 got you in the playoffs in the American League.
And they had
8 games. That's a good week and a half,
And on EEI, I think I wish I had the exact number. I wish I had the documents to prove it right in front of me. But on the EEI broadcast, this was definitely EEI. The team had around 25 blown saves, I believe. And
that'll do it.
10 more wins would have, you would have been breathing easy in a wild card spot.
10 more wins, you're. No, you're not. I lied. Never mind. I was gonna say you're hosting a wild card series, but you're not. I don't think. And the Jays had what, 90, 91?
Yeah, but again,
I think 91. Yeah,
maybe you beat the Jays in a couple of those games. Maybe.
Right. I'm sure some of those blown saves.
If they were just 500 in their division, they're making the playoffs.
Fitz, Fitz. I was gonna say I'm actually literally certain some of those blown saves were against the Jays.
It had to have been. There's like 2 dozen of them. Yeah. 2 dozen and change of them.
I remember there was a George Springer walk off.
Yes, off Barnes.
Something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that was that this year?
I think so. Right?
You know, are you also thinking of that weekend series when they were wearing like the powder blues in Toronto? Like they lost I think it may have been a 4-game sweep or it was like 3 or 4. You may be thinking of that series because I'm like almost definitely sure that there was a Springer walk off that weekend. That was like one of the most frustrating series because like the team was slumping at the time. That was like the whole COVID thing. Not to make this the 2021 Red Sox episode, but like that was such a fucking annoying series. I remember that. And I'm pretty sure Springer hit a walk-off in that series. It may have been this year. I'm not sure.
I'm thinking of... You know what I was thinking of? Last August, I've just found it. August 8th, 2021. In the 8th inning, Barnes threw Springer like a 95 right down the pipe. It was a 3-run bomb to tie the game. Then it wasn't even a walk-off. Maybe it just felt like a walk-off. Maybe like that gave them the lead. I think that was just in the mists of the disaster, like you just said,
the COVID Sox.
Yeah, the COVID Sox. Felt like the whole season was those 2 weeks felt like this whole year. That's how I would equate it. It was this year was a full year of that stretch.
But even after a couple of tough months there, fellas, at least and again it was an emotionally packed day for the final game of the season. At least those guys like JD, Xander, we can get into all of them specifically, and Eck, of course. At least they got their flowers. JD had been frustrating this year. There's no two ways about it. It was a disappointing campaign. I'm sure he'd be the first one to say it. How many home runs did he end up with? What, like 14, 15, 16? Wow, 16. Yeah, the guy who was
Bonds over there.
The guy who's
tied with Trevor Story, who
missed a month and a half, 2 months, right? Yeah, exactly. So
I think more. How many games did Story play?
I would have said maybe he played 80.
Final guesses, Fitz.
77.
94.
94, fella. The point is that JD, as good of a hitter as Trevor Story is consistently, JD, you probably would have thought, would at least, I guess he did match him in home runs, but that's not the point. You know what I mean? JD should have hit more. I want to get your take on this, though. Is big ticket? I don't think there's any question that JD Martinez is the best big ticket free agent signing this team has ever had.
No, sorry, but that's wrong.
Who would you say?
It's Manny.
Yeah.
Was Manny free agent?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Well, then I take that back. I thought Manny was a trade.
Very embarrassing.
That's tough, man. The trade for Manny.
Yeah, Fitz. Idiot.
Fuck me.
All right, dump that. That's trash. Dump that.
Second, then. I don't count Ortiz as a big ticket one.
Second. Why
there
not?
You go. How about that? Yeah, second. Literally one of the best right-handed hitters of all time I've ever seen. Manny. I've seen in my lifetime. The point is, what a freaking signing that was.
Who's
if this
third,
is the end
though?
for Jim.
If you've got to pin somebody third.
Again, and I don't count Ortiz in this. Obviously,
question.
I think
No.
Yeah, because that was just kind of like,
Ortiz
that's nice. God, do I say the S word?
Who?
The word that starts with S and ends in Kahilling.
He wasn't a free agent either.
He wasn't a... God, I got it all mixed up. What the hell?
Fuck, what are you doing hosting
Jesus.
this show? You jerk.
Fuck.
You don't know anything about this team.
I thought Schilling... No, I thought Schilling was a free agent.
No, the Thanksgiving dinner. He went over there and that was
Casey Fossum was involved with the trade.
So he would the trade, yes. So
yeah.
Schilling
okay. Yeah. See, that's why I had it mixed up then, too.
That's a great... There was so much great lore with Theo. There was a lot of great Theo lore. The Thanksgiving dinner, the gorilla suit, the A-Rod meetings. This guy, he had it all. Yeah.
Gorilla suit.
Yeah,
when
you don't know the gorilla
he quit
suit
and
story?
left Fenway with the gorilla suit on so nobody would see him.
What?
Yeah.
You've never heard of this?
I've never heard this story.
Fitz is like,
I mean, that's the whole story. And then he unquit like 48 hours later or something.
Dave Chappelle. That's it. That's the end of the story.
Wait, yeah, here, Theo.
there was also another one where they lost out on like some mid reliever to the Yankees, and he like threw a chair through a window or something.
That one I have
October.
heard, I
Here,
believe.
all right, Fitz, do you want to? This is a quick.
Let it rip, man.
On October 31st, 2005, Red Sox GM Theo Epstein resigned and left Fenway Park in a gorilla suit as to avoid reporters.
Because that's the best way to avoid publicity. Walk out in public in a gorilla suit.
When did he?
I think he came back like a couple months later.
It was a couple months. Is that what it was?
Yeah, because I think like Charrington and maybe Jed Hoyer were like co-interim
Where's the gorilla
GMs at the
suit?
time.
Who owns the gorilla suit? We need to get the gorilla
We
suit.
got- Theo, come on the pod. Tell us about the gorilla suit.
Yeah, that's my I love Theo.
I wish he would come back. He never would. He's done.
Does he hate ownership?
SpongeBob. The gorilla suit scene in SpongeBob. I'll edit the actual audio in there.
For such a bizarre story, there's actually not. There's less.
There's not much more to it.
No, I was gonna say that, but there's like less about it.
I've never heard it.
Yeah,
There's no lore about that. I feel like
maybe he tried to bury it.
If that happened
it is certainly weird behavior.
if that happened in the Twitter era, like that, we talk about it every episode.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many good stories from like 2002 through 2006. Even like you can throw in 2007 too.
I would throw in the whole
5-year.
Theo, the entire Theo Francona.
I guess that's
era.
if you all go all the way through 2011.
I mean, you're throwing away the chicken and beer if you don't
That's true.
extend that.
Yeah. So fun fact, I thought of this yesterday. The only other time I had been in attendance for the end of the Red Sox season was Game 162 in 2011.
Wow, really?
So, yeah, the end of an era. I bookended it. So hopefully,
That was-
I was at Ortiz's last game in the
that's
16
pretty good.
playoffs.
16,
That
yeah.
was the only time I've ever finished the season with the boys.
with the squad.
Yeah.
2011 was so weird. Like obviously the collapse, but a
That's
part
still
of
that's the best team I've ever seen.
the part of that
I'll believe
season that
No,
was
that's
a
outrageous.
really
No,
really good
that's
season. I don't know if it's the
outrageous.
best, but
No,
Were you
mid-May to
asleep
September.
in 2018?
Mid-May to September 1st. I still believe it.
No shot. That pitching.
maybe the
sucked
best that never
ass.
won. The best that never won. You can take maybe like the best that never won. I still think the best team, Red Sox team that did not win the World Series was the 08 team. Yeah. That 11 team was good. The part of that 11 season that like gets lost in the shuffle.
16 was also
16
like a
deserved better than that to
quietly
get swept.
great
Yeah,
team.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty damn good team.
You had Ortiz with no legs out there putting up MVP numbers.
Like 50 doubles or however many he hit.
Yeah.
You know, obviously everyone talks about the collapse of 2011 at the end of the season. What gets lost in the shuffle there, they were awful to begin the year in 2011. Like the first
Oh
2
yeah, they
weeks,
started like 0-6. They
They
weren't
were
500 until like towards the end of May.
and then they just set the world on fire until they didn't.
It's true.
So all of that to say, thank you, JD Martinez. You know, this is probably the end, but I mean,
I
like,
forgot that's where we were.
So
like
I
he
had no idea-
the situation
no idea where we were at.
the situation he came into after 2017 because the power surge, there was no power surge rather in 2017. The power output was horrendous, and the question surrounding like, oh, you're really going to give all this money to a JD Martinez? Like, oh, I don't know about
People
that.
say that. I never thought that contract was
Yeah,
weird or
I-
No, I thought it was a great
22 mil
contract.
is like dirt for a.
No,
for a
it ended up
middle-of-the-order
being
guy.
a bargain, but like in the process of it, it's like, ooh, how much is he going to want? Like,
At the
do you really want to
time,
bring
it
him
was
here?
They didn't
it
sign
was
him
like
until, like,
it was
February,
trade for
right?
Stanton.
Yep.
Sign JD. I was so strongly opposed to trading for Stanton because JD was right there and he just cost money. You know, it was like why?
Yeah.
And he was a better hitter. He's
His
been a better hitter than
2017
Stanton, other than Stanton's that 1 year where he hit 59 home runs.
JD Martinez's cameo with the Diamondbacks maybe
Yeah,
one
he
of the
was
greatest
like-
moves in
he was
trade
God. He
trade
was
deadline
Barry Bonds
history.
for-
4
It
home
was
runs
insane.
against the Dodgers in that one game.
Yeah, it was insane.
And I think it was just like during the process of it, people were nervous about how much money they were going to shell out and how long it was. But even if they had paid, $32 million as opposed to 22, it still would have worked out. He was a revelation for that 2018 offense. Couple of great
JD
years
was
here.
so good in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just what that offense needed, just the spark that they needed. And, having Mookie Betts in the lineup there was great too. But
330 batting average, 402 on base, 43 bombs, 37 doubles, 130 RBIs.
what would you give for that right now?
30 mil.
I'm talking like personally, just like
don't-
if you're from your life.
Oh, a toe.
A toe? That's
Yeah.
a big one. Toes help you
I'm trying to
balance.
think, what's the next time? Like, I can't even fathom a player doing that right now. Like,
Giving up a toe?
no, no, like putting up those numbers, like a 1031 OPS. You don't do that. Who does that?
I mean, I'm sure Aaron Judge.
Oh my god, I forgot he won 2 Silver Sluggers that
Yeah, he
year.
won the
Yes,
DH
yeah,
and the
outfield
outfield
DH, yeah.
spot.
That was
That's so stupid.
funny. That's so good.
JD Martinez might be the ultimate Chad Red Sox then, like committing to this Judge bit this week, winning 2 Silver Sluggers in one season.
He was damn good in 19 as well. People kind of
Yeah.
that offense was great.
Yep.
They just had no pitching.
Yeah, that was a very disappointing. You guys talk. I want to find the Pythagorean record for that
The
2019
win
team.
loss.
That
for
2019
2019?
team was the only stretch where we got kind of a grown up Devers playing with Betts. That was
true.
that was that.
I was at that 2019 last game.
That's
that
a
was-
good one. Ended
Mookie
in
walk-off?
the walk-off, yeah.
Mookie walk off and that fucking who was that catch in right field?
Walked
by,
right off the
Baltimore?
team. Actually, that
Oh,
was,
Wilkerson.
Yeah, what a catch that was.
That was an insane game.
I miss. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. Let's go back to that.
84 and 78, so flip this year's record for 2019. Pythagorean was 87 wins, 75 losses. Was that good enough to get into the postseason?
What was 18's Pythag?
Had to have been less than 108,
Well, I'm certain.
right?
2018 Pythagorean 115? No, 103.
Oh wow.
Oh, still. That's
That team
still
was
insane.
fucking loaded, man.
It was so good.
So ridiculous.
God, that's one of the, obviously, the 13-1 was a blast and 04 was special, but man, that
Could you imagine if the
18 run.
2018 team, if Devers was a year older, they would have. I don't think they would have lost. They would have lost 40 games the whole year. Like that was such a massive hole they had at third. I'm not massive. I mean, Devers existed, and they had Nunez and Holt all kind of played it, and they made it work. But if the next year Devers, that's when he took the step and became like a real
What we know he
middle-of-the-order
is now.
bat. Yeah. I can't even. It doesn't matter. They won the World Series, but
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
you can't really do better than that. Actually, it's the best thing you could possibly do.
for the 2019 team, I think when the only movie made at the deadline was Andrew Kashner,
right.
I was kind of like, I don't think this is the year.
if it makes you feel better, even if they did end up with that 87 from the Pythag as
Still
opposed
not
to
in?
84, even with this expanded postseason, if that was implemented in 2019, they still would have missed out to Cleveland. Cleveland won 93. 93 was not good enough to get into the wild card. Tampa was the second wild card with 96 wins.
Cleveland, they just
Jesus.
don't go away, huh?
They're like the Tides.
Shout out Tito. I can't believe he's been there for 10 years.
Longer than
10 years
here.
today. Yeah.
Longer than here.
Tito, we talked to Folky. We wanted to get Folky ready for this game.
That was terrible. Sorry.
That's an all right Tito impression. Fuck you. Kick rocks. Kick rocks.
The union says no.
Fuck the union. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, Jake's eyes is
What was everybody's favorite JD Martinez moment? I feel like we can, at least right now, Xander and I guess Devers kind of as well. They're more up. They're more like, well, there's a chance. There's a decent chance they come.
We'll get to Xander too.
JD's
but,
gone. What's your favorite JD moment?
I mean, it has to.
I think-
has to be the Verlander home run in the ALCS. I think.
Oh, see, I was thinking J Happ.
J Happ, of course, yeah, too. Like that was just delirious happiness just because it was against the Yankees. But that was just game one.
Wait, what was the Verlander? Oh, in Houston.
In Houston.
Oh, I don't even. That doesn't even.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
I remember his grand slam last year, but
I know what home run you're talking about, Fitz. But was that even significant in game?
I mean, Devers
was icing
home
on the
run
cake
off
that like
Verlander.
we're gonna win the fucking pennant. Like that. Like I.
Oh. Devers had
was
already
that-
hit
was
the
that-
bomb off him.
Oh
right?
yeah, so that's probably why I don't remember it.
Yeah, that one. That's
The Devers one. sticks
Mine
with
is
me
when
more
he
than that.
posted Hitler quotes on his Instagram. That was my favorite.
He did do that. Oh, I forgot. Jake. Oh. That's right. What was that in reference to? Was it
Guns?
I was gonna say Second Amendment
There,
stuff.
take our guns.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Dude, that's wild.
I'm just kidding. I kid.
I was gonna say his
He
first home run
doesn't.
was his first home run was memorable because it didn't happen until like I don't know, mid to late April. I feel like.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow
crushed 43
start,
that year.
Yeah.
But then like he picked it right back up.
He was so good that. Oh my God.
God, him and Betts, Jesus Christ.
He was special.
He was special.
He was special.
I'm just trying to find the score of what was the situation for that Verlander home run.
It is, his stats.
Oh no, that was actually the first. Devers was the one that was like deliriously clinched it.
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
Verlander
Yes.
one was a solo shot to open the scoring.
Well, that's why. Well, why are you talking to us like we misremember? Like we were both.
I
like,
did.
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
know.
move the needle.
Fellas, I suck today. I
you're
am
a
way
fucking
off.
disaster.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
having a tough one.
I'm on JD's BREF page right now, and I was just, even if you throw out 2020, I don't want this guy back. Sorry. He's gotten a good bit worse every year since 2018. That's enough. I think I've had enough. Really, he's gotten a good bit worse every year since 2017, believe it or not. He was actually better. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was
I was going to say compared to 2018.
Well, he had almost an identical year, actually.
Watch him go to fucking Tampa next year and have like 30 home runs.
Renaissance.
Wouldn't he go to Miami?
I would say he's probably. I would say
from Miami, right?
if I had to pick one team he'd go to, it would be the Marlins. Probably, like if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That City Connect JD Martinez jersey kind of hard.
that'd be a heater.
Or teal, like throwback JDM.
The
talking myself
Florida
into that.
Marlin one, yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to Miami. No, yeah, that would be nice. So, JD Martinez, thank you for the memories. Thank you for your services.
Thank you for your service.
That's right.
Play
He's a
Caps.
troop. He's a troop.
Caps will be the outro song.
Because he has guns. So, which one do we want to? What emotional gun punch do we want to go to next? Do we want to go to Eck or do we want to go to Xander?
Well, I'm weary of Xander right now just because.
There's hope.
Well, there is. Yeah, there is. And I feel like if he does leave, then we can dedicate a whole thing and we have. But it's
Yeah, we don't know.
it's kind of a moot point. I don't know. They could
So let's say-
extend him in
let's-
I
3
like
days.
that-
I
I
don't
like
know.
Let's sandwich
that he got-
that. Let's sandwich it in between the definites that are leaving us. So Xander
Ryan
still
Brasher.
like that moment if I were only so lucky. That's emergency pod if they DFA him.
We need to come up with like a.
Brazier.
We need to come up with like a. There's going to be a player every year where it's not our year. Like the fact that we kept seeing Ryan Brazier over and over again should have been the hint that.
Dead giveaway.
Like, yeah.
Dead giveaway.
There's
We're
a
not
guy
going.
on
We're not
that.
making it.
Every,
We saw him fucking like
even the great
67
years
times.
even the great years have that guy though.
But even then, this guy's pitching like high leverage innings.
That's true. I'm trying to think like on 2018 was there like a bum that I just
Well, for a bit there, Pomeranz.
that's
Pomeranz was so bad that they
Big
won
Smooth.
the World Series with a 24-man roster. They had Pomeranz on there and they used everyone else
Tyler
except Drew.
Thornburg. Remember him? He's
Tyler Thornburg. Yeah, it's a trade for Shaw, right?
Yeah, and Dubon, who I miss dearly.
Ryan Brazier, low key a workhorse.
How many innings did he throw?
Ryan Brazier had an ERA plus of 277.
He was amazing in 18.
Oh, in 2018?
He
Yeah,
was
he was absurd.
awesome. He was
is
so great.
He was good
God.
down the stretch last year.
People forget Joe Kelly was terrible in the regular season. He was awful to watch.
that last month it was tough for Joe Kelly. That last like month
Oh
or two.
yeah, and then for whatever reason,
and then
he
the
traded on.
calendar flipped, and he turned into Dennis Eckersley for a month. It was
Dude, I loved having Brazier around. When Brazier was good, I got like the B emojis going, the big Brazier brand.
when he told Sanchez to get
in the fucking box. That was awesome. That was
the
amazing.
head tilt.
Yeah, the crazy head tilt, and then it. I don't know what fuck. It's just the volatility of relievers, man. Volatility.
Relievers are relievers.
But it like, God, it was night and fucking day. God, he was so good, and then what became just he was dog shit. There's no other way to put it. He was
Do you remember his huge strikeout in DC last year? It was the second game. He was just like screaming coming off the mound. I mean, he's had his moments. Good for him. But
which came after the huge save by Heart Attack Hansel.
that's right. The night before.
The clapping one. The football.
I miss him. The worst part about the second half of this year, and I don't even... This sounds backwards, but they didn't have any truly terrible players in the second half. Like, guys, other than Brazier, I guess. Like, they got rid of the guys, which was good, but they still weren't winning. So it wasn't like... It's fun to have a guy to bag on, you know? Like, we had the Diekmans, the Robles, the Durans. And when they were gone, it was like, oh, now I have to be mean to guys that I actually like that can't win.
I think my biggest I don't even know what I want to call it, but like my biggest issue with this year is that we DFA'd Jackie Bradley in favor of Jarren Duran.
My biggest issue was that they didn't figure out the luxury tax thing. Like they just
that's the big
like,
one.
And holistically, it's just weird that they were like, yeah, whatever. Like you couldn't figure out something to get $4 million less.
It's just math.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got guys in there that's their job. You know, nobody was like, Heim, you got to get rid of some bum that's getting $5 million, and then we're clean.
I mean,
he said no. He said I don't wanna.
There was it wasn't it like if they had gotten rid of JD, they would have gone
or Nate
under?
or Hill. Fucking Rich Hill. Trading Rich Hill would have gotten you under.
Well, at least Evaldi kind of turned it on towards the end. At least it showed you some sign of life.
Finally healthy.
But so did JD, I guess. You know.
Yeah, if you consider the end.
I'm scraping the bottom of the trash bin to try to find something resembling a silver lining here, guys. It's tough out here.
I mean, just the fact that he went to the bullpen yesterday kills me. I hadn't seen that from him all year.
Yeah, did he go the other way all year?
The other way
for a home run?
And that was his thing. Like he used to be so good at going the other way.
Yeah, he probably hit 15 or 20 like that in 18.
Mm-hmm. His grand slam in Houston last year was Oppo.
Yeah, in that slaughter game, right? Like that absolute slaughter. Do you think JD's gonna like splice up highlights of the final game of the season and try to put different filters on it to make it look like it's different games?
He'll do that. It looks like
deep fake a Yankees pitcher on there when he's going opposite field. It's just the same home.
Put a sunshine filter on one of them.
He's wearing the road grays in one of them to try to make it look like it's a different park. So, anyways, yeah, this loving tribute to Xander Bogaerts is going swimmingly, but
I don't want to do that. I don't. No, my thing
with Xander is like, he got to tip his cap. That was cool. Like,
just hope it's not the last time.
Regardless of what happens, I didn't feel anything. I was like, because you don't know if he's gone for good. It's like the Mookie walk off in 2019. You're like, it like really hit. I'm like, God damn, like this guy, he might really be gone. Like this really might be it, and I just got a sinking feeling in my stomach. Got a funny feeling that I did not like. Not good. I was listening to the EI broadcast yesterday for like the first couple innings. They were talking about him, and they were like, just make sure like he doesn't get to the market. I think if he gets to the market, like that plays into the Red Sox favor, just based on the other shortstops.
Yeah, why's that? I don't know if I follow. What makes you think that?
Because he'll be the oldest shortstop on the market, and he's clearly. I mean, Correa is going to opt out, and then you've got Dansby and Trey Turner. Those are like
Liam
teams
I kind of get what you're saying, and I think
like he's more valuable to us than say. You don't
think a team would get desperate and
Well,
quote
that's what
unquote,
I
like
th-
pay
I
more
think-
than above what.
I think
I
him
don't-
being the
I don't
oldest
think so.
would be like, it would be good if it was us, but it could be good for anybody. Whereas if before,
Yeah, I don't even want to risk that. I don't even
yeah,
want
like
it
before
to.
free agency, then it's he can't talk to anybody else for another. What is it? A month? Is it like November something?
They've got, I think it's 5 days after the World Series. They have like
Yeah,
just a window.
Figure that
with-
shit
with
out,
some of them.
and then
I mean, like, I
figure
would
it
love
out now
that too.
because
Like, no
then it's
drama.
like that's one less thing too. Like you sucked this year. You got a lot of problems past Xander Bogaerts. Like you got to settle that.
we gotta get started.
Settle that, and then have some fun. Sounds like they're going after a catcher. That's Sean Murphy. I mean, that's a match made in heaven.
Wilson Contreras, you are a Boston Red Stocking.
Sean Murphy really is a match made in heaven, though. That's
Yeah.
the most
I think the
Connor Wong.
A's are going nowhere fast.
Yeah. Irish.
Murphy.
He's a great fit.
Sean. Guy in Boston named Sean. Come on.
They're gonna have a Sean Murphy day at Fenway when
Yeah,
he makes
the
his
whole
debut.
stadium could be
And the whole
filled with
stadium.
Sean Murphys. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. You don't even say
batting.
lady.
Sean Murphy, and the whole stadium gets to come down.
Could Sean be? No, Sean couldn't be a girl's name. Like that's not an Irish girl's name. So it would. Could
Yeah, I
Sean
mean,
Johnson, the Olympian.
Sean? Yes, good. Shout out Sean Johnson. So it
Yeah,
could
and
be.
she always
Ladies
had
and
that
gentlemen.
Veggietales commercial that aired until like 2016.
Can't say I remember the Veggietales commercial.
That one.
No, fellas, it was her sitting with Larry the cucumber and Bob the tomato.
I don't remember that one.
No, you guys are yanking.
No.
This commercial
Jake,
aired for a
keep
decade.
keep going, Jake. Explain it in vivid detail. I want to know
No, I
about
think
this.
it was just them talking about gymnastics. And it was like,
And God.
and she was like, I can flip, and then Larry, not Bob. Larry's the cucumber.
Very, very important detail.
They're all sitting in like director's chairs style, like with the prop. You prop them up. They're all in those, and Larry, he doesn't have limbs, so he's just kind of in it. But he goes, I can do a flip too, or something like that. And then he pops in the air and he flips. That's all.
And then what happened?
I think I don't even remember. I don't even know what the commercial was advertising. Actually,
Okay,
in
so
hindsight.
side note on the Sean Murphy talk. Was there a moment in either of your lives where you like it came to a shock to you, like you didn't pick up on it as a kid that the VeggieTales were like a religious thing? Like it's
Yes.
like,
I didn't
learned that
realize it
later
until
I learned that like when I was like
way
15.
later.
I was like, what? Like they
It's like I thought it was just a kids show.
I thought so. Like they're just veggie pals, and they just told tales. And then in hindsight, like
Protestant vegetables.
yeah, right. And then I'm like, oh wait, like they were like doing like Old Testament stories, like they like shit like that.
I think that's when I started to be like, oh, this is a little weird. When the one, what's the story with the baby in the water?
Exodus.
No, that's
Well, that's part of like Moses, like the baby in the river. Yeah,
when
Moses was put in the river. That's the
was
whole
the one
story of
where I was
Exodus.
like,
Yeah.
What's going on here? What's this is? What is this?
Right? Yeah. Why is this head of lettuce saying "Let my people go"?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Sean Murphy Day at Fenway Park. It'll be 35,000 Sean Murphys in the stands. What does the Sean Murphy trade look like? If you're high in bloom, what do you offer in Oakland for one Sean Murphy? Give your best pitch.
Like Nick York and something else.
Wong and Mata.
Yeah.
You give up your. I mean, I guess that's a crowded middle infield, especially if they lock up Xander, which I hope
if they
do,
sign
but-
Xander Endeavors, I'm trading
Oh,
York
yeah, then-
yesterday because he. I mean, what do you?
There's
what's
no
the
point.
Yeah.
Might as well try to capitalize on the value. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Bloom did, correct me if I'm wrong, but he did say something along the lines of like, trading prospects is more, on the table going forward just because we've stacked our system more and more. It's a stronger system. So we are in a position where we can divvy out younger guys if that plays into our interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's not verbatim, of course, but that's what he said during
general
the
idea.
end of season press conference today.
Yep.
And then,
Did
and
have
then
that on. I'm shocked they didn't give me media credentials. I would have walked right across the street.
how many years of team control does Sean Murphy have? Keep talking. I'm trying to find
I saw. I just pulled up his B ref. I should have looked at that. He made his debut
like 19.
18
I think.
maybe. No, I think you're right. It's 19. So
I didn't realize he's that young.
He's 27. He has 3 more years of arbitration, which is, that's
Including
that's hefty.
Like 23, 24, 25, or
23 is ARB 1. So 3, 4, 5 after the 25 season, he's an unrestricted free agent. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's not nothing.
Let's go get him.
It's attainable. It's certainly attainable. You're going to have to give up. I think something, and then you add maybe another, to quote Blake Snell, a slapdick prospect in there if that's what they do to get it over the finish line. I think that makes sense. And it wouldn't make sense to not include Wong in a deal for Sean Murphy because, he's out of a starting job at that point. Shit, I think fuck Sean Murphy, man. What number is he going to wear for the Red Sox? I think that's the biggest question we have here, fellas. It's not a matter of if they should do it. It's a number. It's a number on the back.
Well, he wears 12,
what
so
does he wear
that's
right
open.
now? Oh yeah, give him. Whoa!
12 would work.
You can't just take Yu Chang's number like that. Are you kidding me?
I thought he was 11. He was 12.
No, he's 12. Yeah.
Oh, Devers
I-
is 11. What the fuck am I?
I think.
Fuck.
Oh no! Not the biggest fuck up on the show. It's officially Jake's turn to fuck up. Woo!
Sean Murphy looks like you fits actually.
He looks like his name is Sean Murphy.
Yeah, he does. He's got a. Wow,
Do I look like
3.5 WAR this year?
Do I look like Sean Murphy?
Come to Papa.
I don't know. He's more of a redhead though. Although my beard is kind of red. Like
Yeah, your beard- I think
my
that's
my
what that
hair
is.
isn't, but my beard is.
All right, so Sean Murphy. Yeah, I mean that rocks.
Is that step 3 behind Xander Devers?
Yes.
Or finding securing. Let's go, Brandon.
So
too.
let's be hypothetical.
Pitching too. I mean,
Listen to this. Hear me out. If you lock up Xander and Devers, you trade for Sean Murphy, your infield plus catcher is locked the fuck in for 3 that's
at least 3 years.
At least 3
Yeah,
years.
you don't have to worry about it.
That is because your outfield sucks. So you gotta get working on that after this. But I like the way
Kike bounces back for 2 goes solid piece. Hell, that's just one other spot to get. Let's go, Brandon. After
Go
that,
Brandon, and that's what I'm saying. They've got a path. They have a really. I mean, the pitching is another thing, but the offense, I think you've got a path to make it damn good.
what Jake is saying basically now is reserve your spot outside of the park now for the duck boats next year, because it's going to be packed and it's going to be a hot ticket, even though you don't need a ticket to get in. I should say though that although obviously going forward, Sean Murphy is a better option, you would think, than a Connor Wong or Reese McGuire. I am okay with going into 2023 with that platoon if it means that they address
Same.
other issues on the team. I don't think that catcher is the burning problem on the team. You saw Reese McGuire have flashes. Connor Wong has some potential. So while it would be nice to secure a catcher like a Sean Murphy going forward, great framer.
Wait, so I'm so sorry to cut you. I'm looking at his BRF. He started 148 games this year.
I was looking at the same thing.
That is
116 at
fucked.
catcher.
That team was bad too. What was?
If it
what
don't
was
fall off the bone, it's free. Maybe
Was
he's
that
cooked
like-
products, dude.
I mean, that had to be showcasing him, right? There's no way they were like. That's
Well, he
insane.
played 32 games at DH. So
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I was just about to make the point that I'm okay without Sean Murphy
if you
going
played
forward.
148 behind the plate, his knees are toast.
Yeah,
What was Tech's best years?
you look that up. I do want to bring that. I may now be doing a quick 180.
Could you
I might need Sean. Liam, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, can you imagine the merch that would fly off the shelves if the backstop duo was Murphy and McGuire?
Oh God,
Wow.
Murphy and the Mick.
Murphy and the Mick. Oh, that's a great.
Print the
name.
shirts. Print the shirts.
We need a whole team of Irish guys. I think that's the way to go. Do we have any Irish guys on the team now?
I don't know, but
No-
shout
no
out Wad.
chance.
Shout out Wad on Twitter. His whole thing is whenever you get to the O in someone's name, you do a space beforehand. So Xander Bogart's name would be Xander B space O apostrophe
or
darts. Mac J O apostrophe NES for Mac Jones. So I was in the middle of a point saying I'd rather them address other things if it go with this catching duo if that's what it means. You trust the pitching, starting, bullpen, whatever it is, outfield, right? I might be changing my tune already because I'm looking at the Savant page and I'm getting a little hot and bothered here. 80 percentile ex-Woba, pretty damn good for a catcher. Here's the big thing. I said good framer, 84th percentile framing there. And after the Kevin Pilecki experience of the last couple of seasons, not being able to throw anyone out to second, 96th, that's a tough one. Sixth is a tough word for me to say. 96th percentile pop time to second base. Just hosing guy. That is
both. I believe
that's
McGuire
nice.
and Wong
I'm gonna come.
Pretty good pop times too, or definitely Wong does.
I'll look that up.
I feel like McGuire was pretty good too, pretty solid.
Yeah, but that rules. Like even if,
but with the to go with the offensive, abilities, sign me up.
Even if they don't like fill the DH position, like being able to spell him with McGuire.
Reese McGuire, DH, bang, done. Say less.
That's like the flexibility not bringing JD back. It does open a lot of.
They were talking today. They want a more athletic team, and it was like music to my ears because the last they were a good team last year. A bunch of fat idiots, though. I swear to God, like the whole season, it was like they couldn't run. They couldn't. The D was terrible. I just want to see guys that are athletes. Like
here lies the Boston Red Sox, a bunch of fat idiots.
Last season, dude, do you remember some of the fucking defense we had to watch last year? It was
atrocious,
unbelievably bad.
Atrocious. It was so bad. 50, right in the middle of pop time for Reese McGuire, by the way, in a 38th percentile framing. 89th pop time for Wong. And I don't think he qualified to have enough framing data. Connor won behind the plate. But the point is, Reese McGuire's really good. But no, the defense was garbage in 21.
Last season, I'm thinking the defense last year was Kike Hernandez and Hunter Renfroe's arm. That was that was literally
not even his glove and his foot.
Just his arm
and his foot. To be fair,
no, that was more like his pelvis, right? Wasn't it, or didn't it come off his? But yeah, like
his
right.
thigh.
Everybody else was a bad defender. I mean, the whole infield stunk. And then Vaz was, you take what you get. He was fine. Renfroe couldn't field, but he could throw. Verdugo is, I don't know. And then it was Kike and Renfroe's arm. But this year, things are pretty good by the end of the year. I think there's a good base there.
Verdugo yesterday, I saw it in his glove. That was tough.
But I mean, okay, listen. Say you get Sean Murphy. Let's just say.
Earthquake at the fantasy household.
I got excited.
He's gonna come.
You've got a plus defender at like 5 spots. If you get Sean Murphy, that's pretty good.
Defense and athleticism. That's
Kansas City Red Sox.
Murphy, that's a plus defender. Casas, everything I've seen, that kid's winning a Gold Glove sooner or later.
If you guys had to rank the three traits or tools, like what do you think is most important this offseason when it comes to power, defense, and athleticism? Like, how would you rank those in terms of
in that order? In that order.
Oh,
power, defense, athleticism.
I would say defense is last. The D was actually pretty good. As far as
you can never have enough good defense.
I know, but I mean, like the guys in place now.
Were like,
the guy that I know that Duran is, the fuck out of here. I don't have to worry about him anymore. Costas is going to win a Gold Glove probably. Story probably does win the Gold Glove if he plays the whole year.
He stayed on the field.
Xander, if he's back, did seem like he learned how to play defense more. I don't know if he. I don't really know what happened there, but he was good this year. Devers, to me, like the eye test, he looks like he's actually a really good third baseman.
I'm not. That's the thing. Like, just take care of the infield.
Yeah, and then Sean Murphy's a great catcher. So that's you're square there. Kike can play. We know that.
You need to keep up the firepower with the rest of the AL East stuff. I think that's my thing. And, you're going to get more power from Devers. If you re-sign Bogarts, you would think maybe he bounces back in terms of the power. Casas is going to have some power.
30 bombs, I think, if he's
Story, if he full-time play. So maybe power isn't even...
I mean, I think you're not going to get, a 40 guy.
You may already have the power,
Devers probably is a 40 guy. His power was zapped for, 2 months this year. But...
Even if he's a 30, that's...
Yeah, sure. Your whole infield could hit 25. If
average 25, that'd be insane.
Yeah, I mean, Casas had 5. He only played like what, 3 weeks, month,
something like that. And you got to figure he's going to get just better contact in general. His approach was good.
25 easy if he stays healthy. Xander, I think that injury where he ran into Verdugo zapped his power for a lot of the year. I'm hoping.
Well, he's still averaging 25 if he hits 20 and Bogarts hits 30. Left side is averaging at 25. I think clearly the power output for this year, whether it's because of the injuries or just the statistical anomaly, whatever you want to attribute it to, right? It clearly fell short of the mark this year, and you're in the toughest division in baseball. You need to be able to keep up the firepower. But on second thought here, guys, maybe you do have that power already ready to go, and Murphy could potentially help with that. He might be able to chip in some home runs where Wong or McGuire couldn't consistently enough for a catcher, you would think.
I mean,
you may already have it.
I think Nimmo is a great fit if you're going to go after like one bigger free agent this offseason. But then you're still kind of missing, like, I don't know, you need another power bat somewhere, which is I don't know where you get that,
How's it gonna, Jake? How do you think it's gonna be living next to Aaron Judge in your neck of the woods? Because
we think the Yankees have to just kind of give him whatever he wants, right?
Blank check. They have to.
Yeah.
In all seriousness.
Or Daddy Steve steps in. I think it's that'd be funny.
That would be awesome. That'd be hilarious.
If he doesn't come to us,
Nimmo
the Mets is my number 2 destination for him.
I think it'd be very funny. It would say, "Hey, we're here."
Suddenly, it's funny. So yeah.
I mean, yeah. Personally, I am rooting for him to leave New York. Just because I am not being funny. I'm not being a Red Sox fan. That team would crater without Aaron Judge. He is that whole team. He really is.
You saw it in like August, September.
That lineup without Judge is like Glaber sometimes, and that's it. And then like
Rizzo, April Merchant.
It's very.
By the way.
The best tweet ever was like the Yankees lineup is Aaron Judge and various Italians striking out. You know what?
If the Yankees lose in the playoffs, preemptively, we are naming that following episode that. Aaron Judge and various Italians striking out.
The Red Sox and Yankees should commit to the Yankees only signing Italians and the Red Sox only signing Irish guys. I think it'd be a really
That'd go over well. Yeah.
Great cultural, regional thing.
I'm sure the network would love it.
Oh my god, did we think of an off-season idea? Like the Irish and Italian all-star teams?
Ooh,
like drafting
good.
that, like going...
That's good. Italians are harder to pick out, though. That's the only thing I'd have.
My thing is like...
I'm going to go ahead and say that any player with a vowel at the end of their last name counts. So, Verdugo, you're Italian now, pal.
Is Andrew McCutcheon? I'm putting him on the Irish. Maybe he is. We don't know.
Oh, Andrew McCutcheon from County Galway.
Paul O'Neill, Irish.
I was going to do current players, but we could do.
Oh, yeah. Current.
Mickey Mantle? It has to be. He's literally a Mick. Has to be Irish.
Irish MLB players. Let's see what we got. Oh, well, that's not helpful.
Grady Sizemore? Well, Grady is Irish, but then Sizemore has the E at the end,
This is players born in Ireland. That's not
that's not helpful.
Watch, it's like, Vlad Guerrero Sr. was born in Galway. What? He's from Cork? What?
Oh, Irish American. There we go. Okay. I got it. Wade Boggs.
Well, that's a good one.
Give it to the Irish, baby.
Derek Jeter was Irish.
What?
I've got it right here. It says he was Irish.
How about that?
DeGrom is Irish. That's big.
Wait, are you kidding me? We're running away with this.
Yeah, that's big. Is there a good Italian pitcher? I don't think so.
Garrett Cole.
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt in Moneyball. Fuck, what was his name in Moneyball?
Scott Hatterberg.
Scott Hatterberg. He's Italian in hindsight.
Not German with the Berg.
No, it was a Mario joke.
Oh, that trailer.
Yeah, can we beep that? Can we cut that out?
Yeah.
Bombed right there.
Mushroom Kingdom. Let's ride.
That's right.
Yeah, I like Sean Murphy's spray chart. I'm looking at it with Fenway overlaid. It looks pretty good.
Classic. There's nothing. Literally my favorite. Like that's old reliable. When the Red Sox are interested in a player, doesn't matter. It doesn't
Bring up
matter.
the spray chart.
Does everybody like look good with a Fenway spray chart? You've never in your life heard. I don't know if Fenway's gonna fit for this guy. It's always like oh, he's mashing. He comes to Fenway, fellas. He's gonna wear out that wall. You've never heard somebody say, I think
that's all I did last winter
think he'll
with
be
like
fine
Carlos
at Fenway
Correa and Trevor Story.
Yeah, it's
that
never
and the expected home runs.
It's never, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, he should be fine there. I think that'd be a good fit. It's always like, oh, he's gonna wear out that wall. Get ready.
Guys, have you seen the spray chart for Charlie Culberson? Like, are you kidding me? Like, he murdered Fenway.
My spray chart would look good on top of Fenway Park.
You give him 300 at bats at Fenway. He's hitting 20 bombs.
Yep.
6 years, 9 figures. Jordan Luplow, who says no? I don't think I do. Have you seen that Fenway spray chart, baby?
It sucks. There's no playoff baseball on tonight. What's up with that?
I know.
Well,
I was
before you
saying
came
that
on-
to
Well,
Fitz before you came on.
when the folks are listening, there'll be playoff baseball on tonight.
That's right. I mean, before you got on here, Jake, we were saying like just how awesome it's going to be, like just the full weekend of baseball. Obviously, it sucks the Red Sox aren't in it, and nothing compares to that. But being a neutral fan is still going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Before we get into the final adieu to Eck, do we want to, just because we're on the topic, do we want to like quickly like run through like what the bracket might look like?
No.
Dennis Eckersley,
All right,
folks.
We can. I don't have anything really intelligent to say about it. I don't think.
All right, very quick.
I don't know if we were rolling or not, but when Fitz and I were talking about it earlier, I did the bracket earlier today and still came away with Braves Astros, and it like took me a second. I was like, wait,
ass. I hope it's not that.
That's last year's matchup. So like I didn't come up with anything interesting outside of
I'm so sick.
I have the Guardians taking out the Yankees in the ALDS.
I could see it.
Yeah.
The Yankees
And
don't have pitching. They have Nestor, and then that's it.
Hear me.
You're telling me Garrett Cole's going to win a big game?
Excuse me,
No
Cole.
chance.
Cole. If you know.
With an accent.
Yeah. I do think Cleveland wins that first series. I think the Blue Jays win. Astros.
wanna
Tampa's
see them
hurting. Tampa's in hell right now. I don't think
Yeah,
they're
we
not
just
ready
swept
for
them.
a playoff series. The Red Sox just swept them. Come on.
They're like they've lost nine of them.
We should get their wild card spot because
We
of that.
should. That's so embarrassing for them that they just got swept. They got swept. This team stinks, and we swept them.
They only won like 2 or 3 of their last 11 or so. They're limping.
Yeah,
into
I think
the
they're on a
playoffs.
5-game losing streak or something. Yeah, they're cooked, and they got to go to Cleveland, right? They're not
Yeah.
even. Not like the Trop is some big advantage or anything. But you know what I've always thought would be funny if I don't know how you would do this, but if the Rays figured out a way to like make the catwalks work to their advantage, like if they figured out ways to like hit a ball straight up.
Like the Tropicana chop.
I was gonna say the anti Wee Willie Keeler.
Yeah, like if they could hack upwards
straight up.
because then it's like anything can happen. It hits that catwalk. You don't know. I just think it'd be fun. There should be more things like the catwalk, like Tal's Hill, or I miss.
I like
Tal's.
that. I like that we
was
still have
awesome.
I like that we still have the ladder on the Green Monster.
Get stuck in there. Ground rule triple, baby. It's impossible to get
I know,
stuck in
but
there.
But that's
I just wanna see it
has
clang
that even
off at
ever
one day.
happened?
No.
No, it's like physically
Yeah,
impossible.
that's
It
what I
can't
mean.
get
I
stuck in
need
the ladder.
something. I need like real fun and wacky ground rules. There's not enough of those anymore. Like when Old Monument Park was fucking in
Was, like,
play, and guys
in
had to
center
navigate
field.
around. Oh my god! I meant to.
It's like
tell you,
Mario
I saw
Baseball.
the funniest Mike Francesa call. On Twitter the other day. It was about Monument Park. It was some guy calls in and he goes, "Hey, Mike, when the Yanks moved in '08, from '08 to '09, how did they move all the guys' bodies buried under Monument?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, he just does the, and then hangs up.
What? He waited 2 hours to call me and say that. He waited 2 hours. Here's the McMahon.
The best one is when the guy calls in and says, "Hey, Mike."
About the Giants?
The Giants one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. The San Francisco Giants are in to play the Mets. And, we have the New York Giants football team. So, Mike, I was wondering, do the Giants ever, get together and have a meetup? Do they ever have, a... What are you talking about? Because it was like, well, they used to be in New York. They used to be the New York Giants. Then they went over they went over to California. And then we have the New York football Giants. So do they ever get together? Okay, bye. And then he starts riffing about it. He goes... That's got to be one of the strangest calls I've ever heard. Okay.
Did you guys see that similar vein, Fitz? The city of Philadelphia gets to have a Cardinals hate week this weekend.
I didn't even pick up on
They're
that.
the Eagles are playing the Cardinals, and
You want
Phillies are playing the
to
Cardinals.
take
That's
you want to
pretty
take
cool.
fellas? Here's maybe my hot take, and I actually do. I don't know if I generally believe it. Fuck it.
No, that's not real then. If you're hard,
No, I had to think about it just because the other teams are so good too. But
All right,
the playoffs
all right, that's it.
Cardinals are winning the pennant, man.
No, don't say that.
Cardinals are winning the pennant.
They got that old
see
man
it.
magic.
The Cardinal
Yeah,
Devil magic,
Albert,
man.
you got
It's a
Albert. How many
thing.
bombs Albert hitting in the playoffs?
Way too
He's gonna
many.
hit like 10.
Too many. That's
Manfred's gonna break out the juice balls for him.
Because I
For
thought
him
about
and
it
Josh.
because I was like, man, the Mets are still so damn good. They have to play the Braves afterwards.
The Mets are
obviously the
Mets-
Dodgers
I
are
tweeted
wagging.
This.
No,
the Mets got to be
Cardinals.
the worst 100-win team I've ever seen in my life.
Do you call
Just the talent on that roster, it is the most top-heavy roster I've ever seen in my life. First of all, they have two of the greatest pitchers in the history of baseball, but then after that, and then Diaz, who's great. But after that,
Yeah, I couldn't name any other pitcher outside of Bassett after that.
he wasn't even that good this year.
Is Seth
It's
Lugo?
just
Is Seth Lugo still on the
the bottom
team?
third of their lineup is a disaster. I don't know how they won 100 games. I mean, good for them. Especially because the two pitchers I just named both missed significant
A
time.
lot of time. Yeah.
How was that happening? How are they winning these games? Good for them, though. Do you guys think that Lindor contract aged well? I think it didn't.
I mean, he had a great year.
I think
He
he's
did.
fair. I think he's marginally overpaid.
Nah, I mean he's still
Yeah, I mean,
good,
I'll
man.
take Cleveland Lindor over Mets
Yeah, but
Lindor
my
any
point
day,
is the
but-
fact that we think that even now is ugh, he's only 2 years in. That's a
I think it ended up being a pretty damn good trade for both sides, though. I mean, the return,
the
Rosario's
trade,
a
for sure,
solid player, and it
absolutely. But
opened up more time for Jimenez, who has been a revelation this year. He's been
And
great.
also, now that I'm saying it, if any team is going to have a bad deal, that doesn't matter at all. It's the Steve Cohen's Mets. He clearly doesn't care about the payroll at all.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
So anyway, Liam, you have Astros, Braves.
Astros Braves.
I'm gonna say Astros over the Cardinals. Jake, what say you? And then who you're bandwagoning to? Liam has the Mariners hat.
I absolutely have the Astros in the AL. That one I don't even.
I'm bandwagoning the Mariners. I'm gonna ride with Liam there.
No,
Them and the
I'm
Padres.
bandwagoning the Mariners and the Mets, but I got Astros and oh gosh, the NL, huh? Dodgers. I mean,
They're
Yeah,
so
I mean, they
good.
won.
That's a chalk pick, but they're still fucking good.
They won 111 games
Yep.
or 110.
Or 110. I knew it was
One
around
of
there.
one of the two. There's so
A lot
stupid.
of freaking games is what matters.
enough games with Tony Gonsolin being their number one.
111.
It must be nice not having to play in the AL East. Let me tell you, these other guys they don't play anybody.
right?
We could have been a contender.
Move the Red Sox to Portland, and we'll be really good.
Dominate Hadlock.
Portland,
Svet-
Oregon.
He meant Oregon, you fucking idiot.
Oh. Fuck.
Or move him to like
Damn it.
Boise, Idaho.
Damn
and
it.
we'll
Tired
crush the
today.
Central.
Fitz, you are tired. my friend.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
The Boise Red Sox
Well,
running rampant in the AL Central.
do we have the Smurf turf just like the football team, Boise State?
Oh, when I was like 10, I thought that was I don't know.
I thought it was
even
the
know what I'm
coolest
saying.
thing ever.
I still think that's the coolest shit.
It's awesome. It rules.
Yeah,
Especially
I don't
after,
know
like,
why I
the,
said when I was 10.
Was it the Tostitos Bowl where they did the Statue of Liberty?
the Statue of Liberty, coolest
Which
shit in the world.
followed the hook and ladder to
Yes.
set it up.
Yeah.
The hook and ladder was arguably like the crazier play. Like obviously the Statue of Liberty to win it was iconic, but like to pull that off in the middle of a game, never mind a huge bowl game against a legendary program like Oklahoma. That was nuts. That was a hell of a moment. So do we get into it now, guys? It's been an hour 10. We have to rip this Band-Aid off. We have to say goodbye to Dennis Eckersley. That was, I think, of all of it, because, again, like JD, you knew he was on the way out. Xander, there's still hope he comes back. Saying goodbye to Eck after these years, that was tough. That was the biggest gut punch of the day, I think. And I don't think it's particularly close. That really stung. Just fuck, man. Like, who tweeted the picture from the account of Orsillo, Remy, and
yeah,
Which
man,
many others copied. We'll have you know.
yeah, it won specifically, but yeah, yeah, we got some strong feelings with that.
I mean,
But-
it felt like the Orsillo send off in 2015.
Like again, like how many hours spent listening to Dennis Eckersley
the only
have we all spent?
The one better thing about the X send off was that at least it was his own thing, so they let him have the
Instead of pushing him out the door,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ness was like, okay, done.
Hey, get the fuck
Come on,
out of
get
here.
out of here.
Like that montage with take it to the
That
limit.
montage was
setting it back.
great.
Yeah. I'm telling ya, it's time to party.
The best.
That's the iconic one. That I
That's my
still think that
favorite
might be
call.
I think it's my favorite too. I think it's my favorite. And just like the random sayings, of course. Like
I'm gonna.
This is all stuff
What is the Actionary account on Twitter even gonna do now?
they set up a
The
new
whole
account.
bit?
Yeah, they set up a new account.
Oh, did
It's
they?
called Socks and Shoes. I believe it's called. So shoot them a follow because Actionary was awesome to follow along with. They're keeping the account up like for reference.
The archives.
It's like the
Sacred text.
the sacred text. They don't want to. It's like the Library of Alexandria.
What's
I'm already
what-
sorry. Another great follow. I'm sorry. I just have Twitter open. Tyler, one of the Carabas pod guys.
Oh
I
yeah,
just-
like Milliken or
Yeah, I just see he just tweeted Mitch Haniger's spray chart over Fenway. It says he just pepper Lansdowne if given the chance. Yeah, I guess he would. Everybody would. It seems.
So would a lot of guys.
oh man,
We should tweet out some free agents that would
like,
suck at
random.
Fenway. like really hope we don't sign this guy. Fenway would not be a good fit for him.
Jacob deGrom, the hitter, not the pitcher, the hitter. His spray chart looks great.
Yeah, as far as Eck, what else is there really to say? I love the guy. He was my favorite. I don't know if this is sacrilege, but I was more of an Eck guy than a Remy guy. I love Remy to death. But Eck made me laugh like every broadcast. How candid he was. He would just like if a guy was bad, he'd just be like, "This guy stinks." Like
Yeah, right.
And there's not a lot of guys
his
that would
Pirates
talk-
comments earlier in the year.
I gotta have the Pirates one. Yeah.
Yeah, like if he this is such a boomer thing, but like he said it. What the fuck? What am I saying? He called it like it is. That's what
Yeah.
they say. He did.
Oh, you know who else they said that about?
I do. Well, that's why I was kind of skirting
Heck,
around it, but-
2024. that's why he's retiring.
And
That bald man, I gotta have it.
there was that aspect of him I love that he would say whatever he was thinking, but there was also like his encyclopedia like knowledge of baseball and specifically his career, but really anyone's. Like he would tell
How many stories he
well,
had?
that his stories, but even
How
like,
many stories is he holding back? Right?
even,
Like how many?
pitches, he would be like he'll say some game he caught, a West Coast game he caught in 2012 that he was watching on TBS, he was like, yeah, and he threw him a splitter, 95 inside. Like he has
Stuck a little high cheese in.
yeah, like
Left
it
him with a
was-
pair of
he knew-
shoes.
His memory was unbelievable about baseball. I'm gonna miss him, man. I really am. I hope he does like nice visits or something.
He has so much passion about the game. Again, when I went up to Cooperstown there for Ortiz's induction, and that first overarching introduction movie that you watch when you first get into the Hall of Fame, it has a whole bunch of other Hall of Famers talking about their careers in baseball, but the most impassioned one easily was Eck. Like, this guy lives, breathes, loves the game. It's just like, however old X is now, he's still got this childlike enthusiasm about the game. He gets so excited about that kind of stuff. The candidness of it all, the excitement of recalling those memories, or when he sees something. One of my favorite, obviously, whenever this happened, I mean, I guess it happened if a Red Sox player hit a home run, but you noticed it more when an opposing player hit a home run. Like what in the 2020 COVID season, for example, it happened with Alonso. Him just going in.
I'm sorry, Vince. I just saw your text.
Oh, the Luke Skywalker. For those of you, obviously it's an audio podcast.
Were you gonna say for those of you listening? That's
Oh,
that's everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
everybody,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. If you're hearing this right now, you're most certainly listening. It's the sacred text meme from The Last Jedi, and the tweet is, "Where exactly is urine stored in the body?" And it's Luke Skywalker yelling, "The sack."
that is good. That got me.
So, anyways, if an opposing player just hit a fucking nuke against the Red Sox, the moan Eckersley used to give it to him it's just immediately off the bat. He just knew it.
What did he
He's
say?
the
What did he say in
best.
Baltimore last year? Like Baboomba.
Baboombas. Baboombas.
Best man.
I have that
Gumby
clip
Man.
somewhere. I have that clip somewhere. Maybe we could use that for the out of context, because we can use videos now along with
Right.
pictures.
It's true.
Baboombas.
My favorite Eck thing, gotta have it is funny, and then
I gotta have it.
if
You just got your lunch.
yeah, that's a classic.
Get outta here!
Who tweets that? Surviving Grady? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Brandon.
the time. Yeah.
That's a great one. I don't know just how candid he was. I keep saying it, but it's like he literally had no filter, but not even in like a shitty way. Like just
David Price disagrees, but continue.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But even
And-
that, he Eck kind of talked about that the other night. Like he was maybe that was Monday night. But he was saying, like, when you're up here, you're not down there anymore. Like, you have to separate it. You're not these guys, like, you're not their friends in that sort of way. Like, if they are stinking up the joint, it's your responsibility to be like, it's not this guy's night, And he was, once again, he never ever shied away from whether it was somebody on the Red Sox or definitely somebody on the other team. He always just that's when he made me laugh the most, was like a relief pitcher coming in, they had nothing, and Eck would just be like,
This guy's.
this guy doesn't have it. He's he doesn't know where it's going.
Gotta get him out of there.
Party time.
Go get him.
What is he waiting for?
O'Brien trying to tiptoe around it, and he's having not having the best day out there. He's absolute dog water. he's
X having
ass.
a conniption.
He's ass. This guy's a bum, Dave.
He's literally freer than a freak trial at Costco. I gotta have it.
I do.
Dog water.
I feel like last summer was special just because him and Remy riffing together, the stories.
That
they
3-man
would go
booth
back
that
and
they had
forth.
for like a month before Remy
That
had
was-
to
that-
get more
it was
chemo.
special.
That was special.
Yeah.
It's a genuine bummer that that they didn't realize how good Eck was in the booth until really, really late in the Orsillo and Remy years.
Yeah.
And I adore.
Because he was just doing the pre and post game
yeah,
shows.
and Orsillo and Remy as a pair, obviously unbeatable. But you throw Eck in there, if we got to have a Mets booth like that with those three guys
elite, right?
for more, I mean, Eck probably did 10 games a year when Orsillo was
yeah.
still, he was never in there. But those, I mean, whew.
How many summer nights
special.
spent with those three? You know, Orsillo, Remy, obviously rest in peace to him, and then Eckersley. How many summer nights have we spent just listening to that? Team being good, bad, or indifferent, man. Like, and it just
The
to not
bad
have
ones are the
that.
special ones, you know? Like when
Yeah.
the dog days, you're getting blown out in a
Your team sucks.
Jerry isn't
Game
losing
in
his tooth if
Baltimore.
the team's playing well, you know.
yeah, like those are the special ones. You know, your team's getting blown out in
Orsillo isn't dedicating 25 minutes to a lamp if the Red Sox are in the middle of a pennant chase.
yeah, grabbing boobs, watching guys.
Nick
grab boobs out
Markakis,
there.
Dick strike one.
It's always the little. Oh.
Yeah.
What's the song, Liam? What song did they play at the game? It was an Eagles song over.
Take
Yeah.
it to the limit.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That
at
was
least
it.
on the broadcast.
Yeah,
I
they
don't,
didn't-
was it
the
different?
That's what
video
that's what they
tweeted
played in the
didn't have
ballpark.
it.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
like so disappointed about.
Yeah, because it was really good. That,
Yeah.
Take it to
is that an
the
Eagles guy?
limit.
He must be. He looks like he is.
I was gonna say he looks like an Eagles scout.
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
Hotel California, man. I gotta tell you, you go in, you can check in, but you can't check out. I gotta have it.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna miss him, and I'm curious what the Nesson booth does because
Well, Uke was good going forward. At least
no, Uke
that's
was
hopeful.
great. Uke was great. I mean,
Uke.
I've said this several times on the pod, but Uke and Monaco is like who I would love. And also, this reminded me. I think we recorded before this happened, but when Judge hit one of his home runs, I tweeted about Michael Kay, and
See ya!
I give Dave O'Brien a lot of shit. I think he's pretty boring, and he doesn't. You know, he's not really like funny in any way, like or charismatic. But he calls a fine game of baseball.
Again, I always say he calls
Yeah.
a good game in between
he
the
just
lines.
does nothing else.
He's better for radio, I think,
Yeah, he does nothing else.
100%.
Like,
He can paint a
fun.
picture.
He's
but
not fun. He's
or
not
like a
fun
national
guy.
game or something like that, like the
Yeah.
TBS like divisional series or something, or ESPN. You know?
Yeah, and you guys know I give him a lot of shit, but there was a Judge. I think when he hit 60 or something, or maybe it was 61. Kay just didn't shut the fuck up. He talked through the whole thing, and it was like
Let
you
the
know,
moment breathe,
Yeah, like I give Dave
especially
shit.
on TV.
Like Dave's biggest offense is he's boring, which is whatever.
Which is fine.
If I had to listen to somebody as grating as as Michael Kay every night, I would blow my brains out. I'm not like it's that is
the fact that him and A-Rod are getting playoff games is absurd to me.
he's just annoying. Like that's so much worse than being boring. You know, like your job is to talk and not be annoying, basically, and he fails at that. Quite, you know.
Like at least we can laugh at Dave because he's like a stick in the mud. But
Yeah.
And
I
on the
actually wish that was kind of what was fun about Eck and Dave.
yeah, because they're
rather
like
than,
polar
Eck
opposites.
rather than Eck and Orsillo or
the
something,
odd
was
couple
like-
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like O'Brien did not know how to talk to Eck, and it was so like Eck would say shit, and Dave would be like, yeah, you know, Eck would be he's over there talking about lettuce and moss and cheese, and O'Brien would just
pair
be
of
like,
shoes.
yeah, balls outside. Like there was no.
Not to make another Chappelle stand-up reference, but it's when he makes up the lingo to his lawyers: the zip it up and zip it out, and the lawyer goes, "All right, now zippity doo dah, bye bye."
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Eck, man. I am.
Adding on to the Yankee broadcaster thing, this is just a side note. Like Michael Kay grading. On the other end of it, though, I unironically love John Sterling. He's the fucking
Oh, no,
best.
John
He's-
Sterling.
I do too. He's great.
Susan. He's the best. I love him.
What did I miss?
Now, what did I do wrong? What did I see wrong? He's fun. He should be. I love his stupid little nicknames. They're fucking funny. I like it. It's fun.
You know, him
His
and
home-
Castig are probably gonna retire like close.
Don't. No,
Oh,
not
yeah.
Castig. Oh, no.
Joe's been doing it, what, 40 years now?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's got another 10.
Hope he does.
I was thinking, you know, Eck was talking yesterday. Like he's been doing baseball and baseball adjacent things.
Oh, yeah, for 50 years?
50 years.
Crazy.
Lifer, man.
Longer, probably because it has to be longer because he had to play as a child.
No, he just picked up a ball one day. and
picked up a ball at 18.
Oakland
and he
A's
was
signed
one,
him.
one of the best pitchers of all time. But I mean, that's you know, he wakes up. He said he's going to wake up today, and he'd be like, "What do I do?" You know, that's crazy. Love
That-
that.
that's
Love that.
That
Watch him just
structured
come back.
schedule, man. That agenda. I gotta have that agenda, man.
Yeah, maybe he'll pull a Brady. He'll be back in the booth next year.
I feel like we'll see him a handful of times.
No, we will. He said that too.
Yeah.
And he said
I mean,
he was saying
he's
like, he'll
at
be
the
free.
games
he could,
all
he
the
could say
time.
whatever he wants. He could say whatever he wants next year.
Yeah.
They can't
Yeah,
fire him.
like West Coast trip, I'm sure he calls a couple of those games.
Yeah, out in Oakland, they bring him in.
Yeah, 100%.
for sure.
Yeah, even
Like
if it's just
like-
like an inning or two just to check in, right? You know?
Yeah.
And again,
want more than that.
he is like the house special guest for Fenway. You know, they do like the Red Sox legend returns. It's him and it's Freddie Lynn. They're at the park all the time.
And Tiant.
And Louis Tiant. Yes, of course, Louis Tiant. You met Louis Tiant the other day.
I did, yeah.
How was he?
Good. My dad was talking him up. My dad was like a little kid talking to him.
Louis Tiant should be in the Hall of Fame.
Because my dad was 10 in '75, so he was like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
you know.
Louis Tiant was that fucking guy, man.
It's so funny. Tiant just posts up and he just sits next to the.
He just
fucking-
sits there. You can
Yeah, he
walk
just
up to
sits
him.
there.
I did it. He probably wanted nothing to do with me when I said it. I was like, "Do you mind if I get a picture?" He's like, he said, "Yeah."
Is
And
this out on Jersey Street
he-
by his
Yeah.
little...
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. He kind of like sits off to the corner there. I mean, it was pretty crowded, but like it wasn't even like a line for him. I don't even know if everyone noticed that it was this Red Sox legend.
I know they.
He
honestly
lined
probably
up
just
to be
think-
running.
They probably just think he's some dude. Like even if you know who Louis Tiant is, you wouldn't be like.
Yeah, if you're like a
"Of course, he's
casual
just
fan,
sitting
if you're
here."
just a casual fan, like you're not going to recognize him.
Yeah.
He did start to lighten up to me a little bit when I said like, you should be in the hall, sir. And he's like, thank you. he's like,
My
like,
dad
yeah.
told him-
He's like, yeah, I should.
My dad was like, "Louis, you gonna pitch next year for the Sox? They need you." And he was like, "No more."
I would not.
what?
I
He's
would not
crazy.
count Louis Tiant out to give us like 5 strong innings. Like I trust him. Trust him more than fucking Brazier. Are
I
you
wish the
kidding me?
Sox would do an old timers game.
They did
I'd
a
love
couple
to go
years
to-
ago. Remember, like Julio Lugo took Pedro deep,
All right.
and then they like hadn't done. I think it was 2019, and then
Oh, yeah.
COVID. It was a COVID
That's
casualty.
easy, Julio.
Yeah.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace, King. What's crazy when I was talking to Louis Tiant, this doesn't matter, but whatever. His fingers are so long, and that's how usually good pitchers have.
Yeah,
long
Pedro.
fingers,
Like
but
Pedro
seeing
had
them
those
in
weird
person,
fingers.
It's like literally, it was like
Yeah.
2 of mine. Like it was like it's fucking. It's usually it's not like proportional. Like they're like to their palm, like they're long. It's not like a big hand. It's
It's
long
just
fingers.
the fingers.
You know.
They got like I always think of it like when I see Pedro's and they like start to bend back. He's got the Grinch hands.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
And then Johnny Bench has those fucking massive mitts
All
too.
the maws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's holding like 15 hamburgers in that Blue Emu commercial on MLB Network. It's fucking disgusting. Johnny Bench, sicko. Ruining some perfectly good burgers.
I haven't watched enough of like the pre and post game shows over the year, but like what do we think of Jim Rice? Like would he be good in the booth or no?
No, he would be horrible. With all due respect to Hall of Famer Mr. Rice, he would be terrible.
Well, you know, when the ball gets hit over the fence in fair territory without hitting the ground, we call that home run.
Yeah, I just
And
don't think he
you
has
can-
any. I just don't. I couldn't see it.
That's
They
how it-
have- I'm not really worried about the color commentary. They have like they have like several guys. I mean, and I thought all of them worked. Millar, I think, was terrible.
Yeah, Millar and Maz, I'm fine. I've seen enough.
Yeah,
I
definitely
am.
not Maz.
I've said this, but I didn't mind Maz. I think he's actually kind of insightful.
fucking
Like,
spare
I think
me.
you guys are conflating
Better
character.
than he was on Felger and Maz, because once upon a time, Tony
he
Maz
plays-
actually
yeah.
like knew what he was talking about.
He
as a
does,
beater.
and he plays a character on Felger and Maz, obviously, and he drops it on Nesson, and I actually think it was okay. But Uke and Middlebrooks are like.
You mean to tell me on Nesson he didn't drop he blows?
I actually wish he would
blows,
talk
Dave.
like he talks on Felger and Maz, like calling for John Henry's head and shit. I think that'd be funny on his network, but what are you gonna do?
They got to run Brock out there more next year.
He might be the heir apparent, like going forward, like within the next couple of years.
Well, like they had
Like
him on a
career
pregame
Red
show.
Sox broadcaster. Everyone loves Brock, you know?
Yeah, I mean they had him on the pregame show. You could tell he was like a little stiff, but I think like if he starts doing it enough, he'll be fine.
It's
He's got
not
the personality for it.
it's not
Brock?
always
Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that, it's not always a matter of expertise. It's a matter of practice, actually doing it,
Yeah.
getting more reps, you know what I mean?
They should just force Christian Arroyo into retirement and put him up in the booth.
He'd be great.
I think, that's my vote.
Let it be known that Jake wants Christian Arroyo off the roster going forward.
I'm gonna Tanya Harding him. I'm gonna bust his shins in so he does color
All
commentary.
right, so is that it on the episode? We're going to hit to the Tanya Harding threats.
Maybe bleep out my threat to Christian Arroyo.
Christian Kerrigan. That was that.
You guys ever seen I,
129.
Tanya? Good movie. I, Tanya.
Not yet.
Hey, I have not seen it. I know.
Okay,
I know.
that was a
Margot's
weird
very
answer to
good
that
in it,
question,
though.
Fitz, but
Not yet. It came out like 3 years ago. dude.
it came out 5 years ago.
So again,
my
not yet. There you go.
But you plan on it.
I'll
Maybe one
get
day.
around to it. All right.
He's busy. He's been busy.
Well, it's been a fun season, felt.
No,
It hasn't.
no, it hasn't.
No.
No,
It's
no,
just
it
like
hasn't. Don't gas it up.
It's been a season. Certainly been a season.
It's been one of the all-time seasons
Definitely.
of all the
It's been-
seasons.
it's
It's
been,
certainly one of them.
It's been a season in Red Sox history.
They definitely played
You
baseball
can't debate
this year,
that.
for
You
sure.
can't.
Played
Cannot
160
argue.
games. That's-
They won some and they lost some. So,
Didn't
I mean,
win
it
enough.
was fun shooting the shit with you guys over the season. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be sticking around in the off season. We have
Yes.
fun ideas.
another
We have
month of
big
baseball.
plans. Big plans.
Big,
plans.
very big, tremendous. It's going to be big. It's going to be very big. Yeah. I'd say that ISIS wants to get you.
I gotta go find that Dr. Umar video where he's like, I have plans right now I cannot tell you about. You guys know that? Yeah, but are we done? Is that it? I guess that's it, huh? What a ride.
Yeah, kind of.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
It was like every other week. This season was a box of chocolates, man. Every week, you didn't know what was going to happen.
And every other piece that we got was like the shitty, like, gross fruit filling in
Yes.
one of them. Every now and
Yeah.
again, you get like a nice smooth, like, milk
And
chocolate
then it's back
or
to
like
the fruit.
some peanuts in there. Sometimes, like, ooh, like that's nice. And then it's back to
the
fucking
fruit.
diarrhea inside. Like, it's,
I think I'm going to spit this one out in a napkin.
yeah, right. Ooh, like, this has like a nice, like, little, like, almost like a cake inside of it, like in like a in a shell. Like, are the Red Sox back? If they win 5 of these next 6 games, they'll be right back in the hunt, and then bring back out the napkin to spit it out.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
So, again, we'll be around following along with the postseason, and we'll have some other Red Sox adjacent talk. We'd like to do like
guests. We want to bring some more guests on.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to have
okay.
Johnny on in the
Some
off
pals.
season.
Yes.
Give us
for
some
sure.
concession stories.
Yes. I want to do a report card episode sometime soon. We kind of just like run through the play, give them a, we're grading them on the year. Typical report card. You've been in school. You've taken classes. You know how report cards work. I shouldn't have to explain that to you folks. You're all educated.
Ryan Brazier, high ERA, low GPA.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey.
not a big.
Hey.
So, but again, we'll be around in the off season. So, for the 2022 Boston Red Sox, for Jake, for Liam, I'm Fitz. Thank you all of you for listening this season. It's been a blast talking on the podcast itself, not watching the team per se, but at least talking with us and sharing these sharing these interactions with you all. So thank you. Stick around during the off season, and then before you know it, it will be Hope Springs Eternal again. By the time this episode's dropped, it will be 174 days from opening day.
It's right around the corner.
Which, you know what? I did the math from what it was, like what 175 days ago was to this point today. It was the day before the home opener against the Twins. So that feels like it was just yesterday, doesn't it? There you go. And at the start of the year, I said, just be thankful that we're getting baseball at all, because we weren't even sure we were going to get a fucking season.
Also true.
So at least...
The next thing you know, you'll see Aaron Judge jogging out there to right field.
And Shohei Ohtani. He's gonna...
What number is he going to wear? 66? I don't think Verdugo shouldn't give him 99. You should big league him.
88. That'd be hard.
Ooh.
I mean, he already looks like a tight end.
Double zero. Double zero would be cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
double
right.
zero rips. Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
Can you do that in baseball?
I mean, you could do zero.
Right.
Someone in the background liked the double zero idea. Considering
somebody
they just
honk.
held
Yeah,
on their
there's
horn.
something going on out there in
Yeah.
the back bay.
So, again,
Ooh, what are we ending with? It's got to be Take It to the Limit, right?
No. It's Tiny Dan. No. I
Oh,
hate when we
we're
do
doing
this
Tiny
before it
Dancer?
ends.
Damn it.
We can't do that.
All right, we'll do Tiny Dancer.
I hate that shit. It's supposed to be a fun surprise. And we always talk about it before.
You can Fitz. You can just bleep out the song names.
yes. They just died? Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time.
Here, Fitz, this is how we'll end it. We'll do,
They played some amazing games. What else can you say?
We'll do me saying, you do your sign off, and then I'll go, the 2022 Red Sox season has ended. And then, bang, Tiny Dancer. That's what we'll do.
What was your guys' favorite game of the year?
Jesus Christ. Probably the Yankee walk-off with the Verdugo.
The
Yes.
Verdugo? Yeah.
Easily that one. No
That's
doubt.
literally the only positive one I can think of right now.
That was the one beaming moment of joy I had. Or the Franchi walk-off grand slam.
Oh, the Frenchie
yeah,
Grand
that was
Slam was
funny.
great on like a Sunday afternoon. He was the Sunday merchant.
He was.
Yeah,
He was the day after a call-up merchant, too. That's the only
Ty-
time he hit.
Ty goes to the comeback considering it was against the Yankees. So there you go. That's the best game of the year.
All right.
So again, for Liam, for Jake, I'm Fitz. Thank you for listening today and all season. We'll be back next week following up on the postseason stuff, and we'll be talking to you all winter. So stick around.
The 2022 Boston Red Sox season is over.
They just died?